Oh, I love it. Talk about the blind leading the blind. All right. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. One down. Maybe. Yes, finally. Okay, so go over here. What's going on? Bah, humbug. Okay. Stop that. And go over here. This is such a funny thing. All right, let's go here. Why are you not working? Hey there. Okay, bear with me because I have no clue how this is working. And of course, I can't type one-handed to save my life. Let's see. So how are you doing, Purple? Thank you so much for stopping in. Excuse me while I try to figure out how to do this. Oh, it works together. I see. Got it. All right. I think I figured it out. Can you hear me good enough? Aside from trying to figure out, of course, at the last minute, how to use StreamYard. That's what this is called, right? I feel like such a goober. Let me try and go and find Miss Pink, because I was supposed to tell her when I was going. Okay, got that one off. Let's see. Do you have any questions about meditation or about the full moon? Or I have the most rinky-dink setup, so lighting is not very good. I'm trying to figure that one out. GX. Okay, I am typing manually. That should be it. 5XGX 8LR. Oh, 8LJR. Okay. Ta-da. All right, 2 down. Do you have any water with you? I forgot to suggest people get a bottle of water. So what I was going to do tonight was a, beg your pardon, 10-minute guided meditation to help settle down the craziness of a full moon. You know, we hear about prisons and hospitals and everything and crime and stuff, and everything seems to go up a little bit during the full moon. And that's been not a wives' tale, but documented for hundreds of years. That's why they call it lunacy. Of course, I think I like being a little bit of a lunatic. So I just wanted to offer a real simple guided meditation to kind of get centered, to focus, and maybe introduce people to some interesting aspects about energy, our energy, and everything boils down to frequency. And it's funny, I hear the wind pick up now. I love how Mother Nature kind of chimes in to say, yep, I'm here with you. And then I have my 2 sleeping pooches. They should be interesting. Have you ever done meditation before, Purple? Do you prefer purple or paisley? Purple's my favorite color, but I love paisleys. So I really like your name. Okay, then purple it is. That's my favorite. If you want, what we could do is a little exercise. I didn't know that. My father-in-law had lupus. They didn't give him long to live, and that was like 70 years ago. And he outlived all the doctors. Of course, he's now passed, but there's my Miss Pink. How are you? I love you. You missed the comedy of errors. I couldn't figure out how to get this started. Missing the whole start broadcast button. So it's okay that we're all late. But I love you. This is your fault. So if anybody has a complaint, I'm going to send them off to you. And hopefully Angela will be here. But if anybody has bottled water, I have a couple little interesting experiments to share. And I hope you're ready for our tea time tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. See, even the meditation that we're going to do tonight, because it's mostly about just a nice 10-minute guided meditation to get us in a nice calm space. So that'll work for the depression. And I don't know, she has not picked up. Of course, I sent her text messages. And you found me, so I am not going to say I don't know how to send you the link on my phone. Since I've got the computer, the tablet, and the phone, and I was barely able to do the computer. Again, so much for being a tech nerd. Let me see. I'm going to give her a quick call. And I will mute myself. I have to remember that I'm on camera and that I can't blow raspberries at the computer. So if I make funny faces, it's because I'm not used to this. And Angela said that she's trying, but it's saying it's not available. And I don't know how to fix that. Oh, I know, maybe not. Let me see. Go over here. So, Latrice, I was asking Purple if she had any questions, so I'm going to ask you what questions you have about meditation. And while I throw that up there to you, I haven't tried to share with anybody yet because I literally figured out how to push the button 2 minutes before go time. And even then, I was still late. Let's see. There's that. Oh, wow, I found me. There's that. How do I... Oh, wow, I found me. Okay, close that. There's that. How do I... Oh, wow, I found me. Okay, close that. There's that. Oh, boy, did I just make myself go blah. Okay, Come on. There we go. That should do it. Okay, I think I got her. All right, so great big hugs. Lots of love to you. Did you hear my question? Or did I just ramble? I should have set up some time with you earlier today to go, all right, how do I do this? So I didn't just jump in. Okay, so there are so many different ways to meditate. Really, there's as many different ways to meditate as there are people. And it could be that your perception of what meditation should be is what's hanging you up. There's a couple people I love to meditate with on YouTube. One is a very soft-spoken, lovely little man. I believe he might be Buddhist, but I don't know. His name is Mooji, Mooji, and his YouTube channel is Mujiji. So it's Moojiji, all one word. And a lot of his meditations, there's no big spaces of silence. He will chant, and you just walk with that and listen to it and repeat it in your mind. You don't have to repeat it out loud, but you can. And then after so many times, and you're breathing in and out, then you just stop and it's still. And you really need to think of stillness in bite-sized pieces. One of the things I teach is that, as a analogy, if you're standing outside and a tree all of a sudden blows over, and instead of you stepping out of the way, you stand there and catch it and try to hold it up. That's the same thing as when a thought comes in while you're trying to be quiet. And you're like, no, go away. I'm not going to think about you. Go away, go away. It's like, just take a step back and let the thought go. Don't struggle with it. Key things for first meditating is just listen to somebody. Like tonight, it's going to be a short 10-minute meditation. The whole goal is to help find center, get us so that we have control of the squirrel cage, but also of the squirrel cage in our chest. You know, we think a thought and we start to have the heart palpitations, and we can set ourselves up for a panic attack just by a thought. Does that make sense? And why are you whining? I'm being talked to. So what I would suggest first is just close your eyes. And if you take your eyeballs and look up like you're trying to see your hairline, so not trying to fully see at the top, but just right here at the hairline. What that's going to do, you'll feel your eyes flutter a little bit. And the more you can turn your eyes upwards, the more the flutter. That sends a signal to the brain that helps it to slow down. It's the beginning of REM state, like when you're asleep and your eyes flutter. So it's a signal to the brain, beg your pardon, to go from beta, which is the chatter monkey thought, everything coming in and yada, 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 to alpha, which is a little bit more controlled. You're still thinking. It's not sleep. It's not even being tired. It's just kind of a state of focus. It's a state that you achieve normally if you're trying to learn something. So if you're in a book and you're studying and you're focused on what you're reading, that brings the brain frequency, the level, the alpha waves down so that you get into this nice little zone. Some music, I believe it was Beethoven and I think Mozart, they discovered helped people study better. It got the mind into a alpha wave, and they were able to concentrate and just calmly grasp the knowledge. They were more productive. They were less apt to be anxious when they took their tests and stuff. Music was helpful. And I didn't know we had an Atlanta, Texas Amber Alert. What I would also suggest is paying attention to your body. So one of the key things, of course, my camera is set too high, but right here on your chest, so here's that notch where your thyroid is. And if you do about 3 to 4 fingers down, there's kind of a lump. Not like a lump, hard, but just this subtle curve of the bone. So you could go like this and travel down, and then there it is. And tapping that is where your thalamus gland is. Some people refer to that as your high heart. But tapping that, and I tend to tap it kind of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the third beat is the eyeballs. The eyeballs, yes, it helps to bring the mind into that, as if you were going to go into REM sleep. People use it for hypnosis. So it's just looking straight ahead, but your eyeballs go up here like you're trying to see. And it kind of feels a little uncomfortable sometimes for some people because the muscles up at the top are pulling. But you pull up and you really look up there and you'll feel that flutter. And it's kind of hard to get into this relax and feel the flutter and feel those muscles pull up, because we're not used to lifting our eyes up that way. And don't let your eyes get stuck. So that is like I said, a tool to use to help calm you all down. It's not just the brain, but it also helps to get the body to calm. Breathing, another thing to do if you start to, like I said, the tapping is great. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 for me. Sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, but the final tap is always punctuated, always a little more oomph than the rest. Let's see. I'm going to take the glasses off. I really don't need it for this because I'm not reading anything other than chat, which I can't see now. Excuse me. So what I would say is take your hands, put them together, and rub them back and forth. Create some friction, and you'll feel that heat. And then just kind of tap the center of your palms right about here. Just give it a good tap. Dogs, gotta love them. So after the tap, when you rub your hands together, you'll feel a little warmth. Kind of shake it off, and then just hold your hands like that, just a few inches apart. Here we go. I will get a better camera set up one of these days. but it should feel like there's a buzz or a tingle. Some people it might be warmth, just like a hair of a degree difference than the air, but there would be a little warmth. See, your whole entire body is an electromagnetic battery. You possess a north and a south pole. Oh, yes, I do. Haha. Let's see. Wait a minute. Turn it up the right way. There we go. So, north pole on the battery, south pole. We possess that. That's why they can put wires to us, and they can read our brain waves, and they can read our heart rate. And it gets even more in depth if you think about heat waves, and there has to be energy for there to be heat. In the absence of energy, it's just cool. And then I have a contradiction to that, but that's for another day. So breathe in nice and slow through your nose, and you just kind of hold it. But the key here, and this is for you, Pink, to get your mind off of the wind, the rain, the sun going down, being in the house alone, the water leaking, whatever starts to fill our minds up, you listen and you feel it. I can feel it in my eustachian tubes when I inhale. There's kind of like a coolness that I'm experiencing in here. And so my mind is paying attention to that. I can also hear this little, breathy sound. So I'm hearing the inhale. That's where your focus goes. So as you're focusing on just the breath, the mind doesn't really have room to say, hey, what about the bills? Hey, you forgot to feed the dog. Hey, I didn't call my sister. See? So you inhale. And I recommend feeling the belly expand. It's not vanity has no place here. It's full belly breaths. Belly expands, belly contracts. So you inhale. Hold it for a couple, 2 seconds. And then you exhale through the mouth. And all this mechanism, you're paying attention. Chest rises, stomach goes down, chest goes down. The way the shirt or how your skin kind of moves. All of these little awarenesses are the first step in focusing when you meditate. So you get into a nice space and you take a deep breath in, hold it for about 2, and then exhale through the mouth out, nice and easy. And your shoulders kind of relax a little bit. You can go through step by step and imagine your feet nice and flat on the floor. Imagine them having like little red slippers or socks, especially if you're feeling anxious. Imagining doing everything you can to picture and pretend and feel that you have socks on. That also detracts from the thoughts and from anything that might panic you, any kind of anxiety, anticipation. Little tidbit from NASA. The mind and the body are interesting creatures. The mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. They took a study back in the 80s. They had done this for NASA astronauts, but this one Dr. Whiteley, I think his name was Dennis Whiteley, or Whitley, I don't remember how to pronounce it basically, but he took Olympic athletes in the 80s, early 80s I think it was, and he had them all sit down and plug them up into all this sophisticated biofeedback. Just wires, plugged in to catch the heart rate and also key muscle groups and such. And then he had them, all of these guys, track and field and various other Olympic athletes, and had them run the race in their mind. So feel themselves get into the starting block and put their foot down. Feel, pretend, imagine, whatever, how the gravel crunches underneath those special shoes, that have the cleats on them so that they've got the grip and whatever. At least I believe that's what they had for track. But, so they imagined all of that. They imagined the others in the line. So there was that adrenaline rush, I guess, to run a race, to really run this race. And then imagined the starter's gun going off and then propelling themselves off of that starting block. And they imagined how they were running the race and how maybe somebody was coming up into the periphery or leading the way, and how they were trying to catch up. But they ran this race and they did it all in their mind. And what was cool is that by the biofeedback machines, the mechanisms that they recorded all of this, the muscles of the body fired in the exact order as if they were physically running the race. So that's why sometimes we can imagine something and it literally catch our breath or start our heart to race. A fear that has no basis in anything takes over because we imagine it and we give it power. So meditation is one of the ways of pulling back and getting centered. And by centered, I mean, not being scattered mind over here and that part of my mind over there. And I'm chattering back here behind my head about something else. And, it's all just this whirlwind, but pulling in and trusting spirit, trusting that we're safe and we're okay, and there's nothing, no boogeyman going to come and jump out of the darkness behind me and get me. My husband might do that, but so back to the feet, you imagine those fuzzy slippers and you get it in your head as best you can, the warmth, how it's cush under your feet. You imagine that bit of warmth that separates your foot from the carpet or from the floor, and you literally put all of that thought down there. And as your awareness goes to your feet, so does your energy. Then you can think about relaxing your feet. Just slow down and relax. Wiggle your toes. And you can do this while we're talking because this is going to be our prelude. And so you wiggle your toes and kind of raise up on your toes and put your heels back down on the floor. Or maybe slide your heels slightly so that you feel the floor or the carpet. Even if you've got shoes on, you'll feel that, bit of resistance. Or it might slide easy depending on if you're wearing Pink's blue suede shoes. Then and the whole while, right, breath is important. So you're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and you're just keeping this nice, even rhythm. We're wonderful creatures, machines that can multitask. I mean, think about it. We raised our kids, cooked at the same time we were taking care of homework and answering the phone or the door or whatever. And so, we're full on multitaskers. We've got it covered. Then you think of that relaxation and you bring it up your shins and you bring it up, that energy coming up into your knees. And then you bring that up even further and let your knees relax. And so you might pick your foot up, not kick anything that's under your desk, and just start paying attention. And the muscles will relax as you think, okay, I'm relaxing my ankles. I'm relaxing my knees. I'm relaxing into my thighs, and I'm relaxing into my hips. I'm going fast at the moment. But you take this step by step. Each breath in, each breath out. And you just pull that awareness up through your body. Think about your shoulders relaxing, your neck relaxing, your face relaxing. That's something, Pink, I want us to do, segueing into a thought because squirrel. But I want to teach you facial exercises because we have 43 muscles in our face. And how many people exercise their face? We think about exercising our arms, or our body, but we forget about our face. And all the talking we do doesn't cover it. So that's something that I'd love us to do, is a nice, facial exercise to work on all the muscles, and a routine that I do every morning to get all of the puffiness out of my face. As long as I remember that I don't eat sugar unless my husband's got chocolate by the bed, and then I steal it in the middle of the night because I'm still awake and he's not. But as we think about relaxing, we get up to the top of the head, our scalp needs to relax. And there's things that we could be doing. I don't have it here. Darn it. I found this really cool hairbrush at, I think it was Dollar Tree. Not sure. But it might have been Walgreens or Walmart. And it's a little wooden brush, probably a little bit bigger. The head's about that big. And it has these little rubber knobs on the end of each hard, like stick bristle. And I think they are wood. I'm not sure. But I use that. You could use your fingers, do a claw like that, and then tap from right behind the ear here, and tap, just keep tapping and tapping and tapping all the way over until you get to the other ear, and then tap back. This space here, which is called the occipital ridge, has all the optical nerves, and there's a lot of muscles coming up into the neck that tie in right there, and so we can get headaches and feel pressure just because it's all tight there. And so by doing that tapping like that, and just going from one side of your skull to the other, back from ear to ear, 2 minutes at the max, 1 minute, it does wonders for the nerves. And it's also another thing that helps you to calm down. It just kind of is soothing. It would almost be in the realm of the ASMR. But it has more of a scientific thing as far as, well, I know ASMR is, but you know what I mean, because it works on those nerve endings. And so it's also a good thing. I'll do both hands because I don't like going back and forth. So I start both hands and I go to the middle, and then I do this sometimes, when we're all in chat watching you do your glitterification with your rhinestones and stuff. I've watched those. It's just calming and soothing. I hope you didn't hear that. That was my husband. Anytime you feel a moment of stress, I saw that. YouTube went poof and then came back. Anytime you feel like clutched here at your chest and your throat because a panic is coming on, this is where I want you to close your eyes, look up, and I mean really like try to reach the top of your head, right? And just breathe. And I'll tap here. But the two combined helps to slow down the cortisol. It helps to lower the heart rate. There's also this fatty part of your palm, and then it'd be back here on this hand. You pinch that and hold that, and it'll hurt a little. Sometimes it hurts a lot. but that's a pressure point that will help in bringing about a little calm. There's a couple other ones. I believe it's, let's see. Come on. Okay. So right about here. So if your notch of your palm is there, and you find that and then come down, there's a spot right in there, kind of in, oh yeah. And you can hold on to that and just breathe. It's like, not sure if it's the pressure point or the breathing through the uncomfortableness, but it helps you to just get that kind of sigh going on. So again, it's this part of your hand and then come down, straight line, not the fat outside of that. You can feel like the bone there. It's going to be on the inside. Ouch. between the tendon there, and so you'll find it. You'll feel that. It doesn't tickle, I admit it, but you can just not press as hard as I do and rub it or pinch it and just breathe. You're welcome. I'm pretty sure that anybody that was going to come isn't. So if you'd like, we could go ahead and do the meditation. I've got a cool thing to try with you if you'd like, or we can just go into the guided meditation. And again, it's just a simple thing to help us connect with what's this time of year. It's called the corn moon. This month, we will have a blue moon at the end of the month. The blue moon is an interesting phenomenon. In some points of view, it's the fourth full moon in a quarter, because there's like 3 months to each quarter. And so there should only be one moon to each month, right? But it's the fourth one in each quarter, or the fourth one in each season. I've always ascribed to it's the second full moon in the month. So today being the first means that come the 28th, there will be another full moon, which will be a blue moon. But today is the corn moon. And if I remember correctly, that's because this is one of the plantings. It's either the harvest of corn or it's the planting of the corn. I think it's the planting. So Farmer's Almanac will tell us that. So if you're ready, let me know, and I will grab a quick drink of water. I'm glad you're learning purple. Thank you for the feedback. I want to do this more often. I did. I was inspired by one of Pink's chats. She was, I think, speaking about astrology or something. And Pink, you've got everything I possibly could share. You just have to ask. I just now saw that, sorry. Because I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, I'm silly. I like it. But Pink was talking, I think, to, it wasn't Heather. I don't remember who it was in the chat that you were asking. Might have been Beauty, about the astrology. And I was telling you that my husband's an astrologer. He's been an astrologer for like 50 years, maybe more. And so the 30 years that I've been with him, and my mother was also an astrologer. So I've literally been around it my entire life, just never focused 100% study. But I know a lot, just not a lot like him. And anyway, and I was saying to you, that this was in my wheelhouse. And then I was saying, I'm your I'm your metaphysical matron, and that's where my new channel came from, is you and that night. And so the new channel is called Metaphysical Matron, and that's where everything is going to move over to. Yeah, I think so. But okay, so first thing I want you to do, again, we're going to rub our hands together. And it's not a, don't worry about it, just rub your hands together. It's kind of like we're getting ready for the good stuff. And then you can set your hands in your lap, palms up. You can put your palms on your legs. You can set your palms to your heart. I do that a lot of times. I'll put my left hand on my heart, my right hand over it. And then I just breathe. Ooh, that made my neck pop. Cool. Just a couple breaths in. This is just you. Don't worry about timing. But I want you to close your eyes. Let yourself get comfortable in your chair, or if you're reclining on your bed, just relax. And we're going to take a nice slow breath in. We're going to do it to a count of 4. So it'll be inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold it for a count of 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth. And at the end of the breath, don't inhale right away. Just sit there for a second. And what I want you to do is pay attention to everything you feel. Let your mind rest on how your stomach feels on the exhale, how it feels on the inhale, how the breath feels coming down your throat, how it feels going into your nostrils. Can you hear it when you inhale? These are all the things I want you to pay attention to, every aspect of it. So, ready? Now, legitimately, let's go. Inhale. Hold. Exhale through your mouth. And hold. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Hold. Now inhale again. And hold. Now exhale through your mouth. And hold at the bottom. And then just relax and breathe as you like. Whichever hand you feel comfortable with, I'd like you to take it and just tap at the crown of your head, right in the center of your head. Just light, a couple taps, kind of like you're trying to wake up the scalp. And after you think, yeah, I'm done tapping, let your mind settle where you've tapped. Feel that spot. It should still tingle. As long as your attention is focused on where you tapped, it should still tingle. It should have a presence, a weight, an awareness. Keep your mind on that spot and imagine that it's late in the evening and you're going to walk outside and stand where you can see the full moon. It doesn't matter if you have a porch or not. Just imagine your ideal spot to stand and watch as the full moon rises up and up over the horizon. Its big, beautiful glow kissing the sky, and it rises almost uplifting you with it as it gets higher in the sky. And you see the moon, its eyes peek out, and the first glimpse of a dimple, as if the moon was smiling at you, starts to appear. All the craters. As kids, we could go outside and look at the moon smiling down on us. We could see faces in the moon. So for right now, we're going to be those kids. And we're going to feel the light of the moon shine upon us. Just imagine the kiss of the warm air, how it prickles your skin, and the moon's glow gives everything such a peaceful, almost worldly or otherworldly illumination. Tree leaves that shimmer in the light, faint rustling of leaves. The stars twinkle, dancing before the moon. Let your shoulders relax. Let go of any and all tension. Take another breath in, breathing in through your nose, and then exhale out nice and easy through your mouth. And feel as a little bit of weight just kind of rolls off. The muscles start to release. And you take another breath in. Imagine the moon now at 3/4 rise, fully kissing your face with light. You can feel the energy as it embodies within you. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. If any thoughts try to come in, don't fight them. Let them make their appearance. Just take a step back and observe them. Take another breath in. Hold it on the top just for a second and let it go. Feel how everything slows around you. In the periods of silence, just breathe. Focus on that spot on the top of your head that you tapped. You should still feel a pressure or a presence, I guess, if you want to call it that. But your awareness there. And you breathe in. And this time, imagine that you're breathing up to that spot. And then exhale out your mouth. and just let it all go. And if it's been a particularly stressful day, we're going to breathe up to that spot. And as we keep inhaling, let the air, that inhale, go above our heads as if it's reaching up to the heavens. Let it go as high as you feel like. And then when you exhale, you're drawing down universal love, light, source energy. And that's pushing down, down through you and out with your exhale. All of the stuff, all of that stuff that we've held on to for the day. Being worried about our friends, being worried about ourselves, our children. I'm going to switch it on you for a second. And if you wiggle your toes, pay attention to your red socks, red booties. You're going to inhale and pull up energy through your feet. Just imagine that with your inhale, that's where it's coming from. You're bringing up the earth's energy. You are connecting to Mother Earth. You are grounding by connecting. We don't want to become helium balloons and float away on the winds. And so we inhale up the energy and it goes up to that spot that we felt and feel it above our heads. And then we'll take that exhale and you're going to do the exact same thing as last time. You're going to pull it from that spot above your head and think of gold and light, God's purest love. Or the love of your puppy dog. Silly dog. And have that wash all the way down and out your feet. Let it go. And that's going to push all of the angst, all of the worry, all of the hurtful comments that you heard from somebody else or that you read that filled you up with dread or with worry or with just even anger. Shh. Walter, take another breath in, again drawing from your feet. Let it go up to the roof of your head and out the top. And on your exhale, we're pulling the energy from above us all the way through our throat, down through our chest, down through our abdomen, down our legs, down our shins, and out the bottom of our feet into the earth. Just be okay in that little space, that quiet. If a thought comes in, don't fight it. Just look at it. Look at it like an observer, as if you were at an aquarium and the fish were swimming on by. Imagine that these thoughts are fish and just let it go. Don't try to stop it. And as soon as the thought's done, breathe. Just breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I love you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now take your time. If you feel ready, open your eyes. But just take this moment to be aware of your arms. How do they feel? How does your head feel? How does your chest feel? What about your feet? Are they still fuzzy? And just come back to present. And let me know when you're back. I will do more of these, and I will make sure I don't have pooches to try to steal the show. I'll even script it for next time. Oh, you have such bad breath, dog. How are we doing? Did I lose everybody? Gracie Ann? They're quiet. How do you feel, Pink? So do a self-assessment. If you felt that you were anxious or... Okay, cool. So let's do it on a scale of 1 to 10 when you first showed up. 10 being, oh my God, I'm going to pull my hair out. And 1 being, I'm glass of wine relaxed. Where did you start and where are you now? And say hi to my little friend. Gracie. There you are, Angela. How are you? I love you. Look who's here. Okay, wait a minute. Gotta get her that way. You want to say hi, Grace? Say hi, Gracie. You little stilly thing. Okay, yes. You started at an 8 and you're at a 2. Awesome. So do you think that you can... Oh, you have? You were just quiet. So you have to answer the question too. I love my family, even with stinky breath dogs. So do you think, Pink, that you can work with this? Excuse me, and we can work more on it? I knew that was going to happen. Walter, What do you want? Come here. Come on. Breathy boy. Could you hear, though, Angela? Okay, cool. Gracie had to come and join. Don't know why, but she had to come and join. Okay, I have my book. What day is it that you're doing your book thing? Yes, she is a nosy girl. I'm glad. Thank you. What day is your book writing thing? I love you, Purple. Okay, vanity aside, I guess I have to put the glasses on so I can read. There we go. The light on my camera reflects in my glasses. Angela, Pink is doing the 7th at 9 p.m. So that's, what day is that? Monday? Oh, yeah, it's next Monday. Okay. So next Monday at 7 p.m. or at 9 p.m. Yeah, I can. Oh, that was funny. Okay, so because I want to be there for the book thing on Monday. Thought maybe I could drag Angela to it too. We could all do it together. But I want to sit down and work out a schedule to figure out what days to do meditations. You know, once a week meditation. Would you be up for that? And I love you guys. Thank you. Well, just different meditations, Angela. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I'm so glad. I just wanted a brief, introduction meditation. There's some cool things. If you're up for this, this exercise, Angela, but if Pink and Purple are up for a little energy exercise to show how the mind works, I'd be happy to share it with you guys. Remember the apple? Can I put you down? Will you let me put you down? Please? Yes, no? I don't know if I could let you sit in my lap because I need my hands. All right, let's try this. Sit yourself there. Just let me see if I can fix my display. And if I can fix the display, bear with me a second. I'm going to mute so that if I curse myself out, you won't hear me. And I'll be right back. I'm going to switch screens. Thank you, Purple. Gosh. Okay. Here we go again. You're familiar with acupuncture, right? I'm not muted anymore. Please laugh. It's better than crying. Okay, so you're familiar with acupuncture. And a few years ago, somebody went and through the acupuncture injected a dye or ink. Depositing dog. Go to your room. Go on. Anyway, they injected ink and they were able to trace the lines of the meridians. You know, so many people were like, oh, the meridians are just malarkey. There's no such thing, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And so, and I don't know why it took them so long to figure out, well, let's just inject dye. But the meridians, they go to all the organs of the body. So there's a liver meridian, a kidney meridian, a stomach meridian. The governing meridian comes up and ends here. So it comes from between the legs and ends here, and then comes from basically the same spot and over the top and then down here. That's our governing one. That's why doing this helps to activate. And if you actually go from the back of the head forward, this is pulling the energy in. This is like re-energizing. If you have too much energy, you can't stop thinking, do it backwards. And that will slow you down. So anyway, this exercise is just fun and shows you about the energy. So we're going to do the hand thing again, but I really want you to get good friction going, feel the heat, tap the center of your palms, and then just hold your hands apart, just like that, and feel. Let me know whether or not you're noticing a tingle, a warmth, almost as if somebody blew a bubble, you know, the soap. So think how delicate it is. And then pull your hands apart and just keep your mind focused there on that energy, on that center. And as soon as you no longer feel it, then bring your hands back until you feel almost kind of like a resistance, like they're like you physically have this little ball that doesn't want to let your hands, squish together. I mean, you could, but you're not trying to force the issue. You're just like, oh, okay, that really is where I'm feeling resistance. Okay. Then let me know in the chat when you have comfortably done that, and I will give you the next step, which will be with the right hand, just the right. I am going to. Tired of playing with my hair. I'm waiting on chat, so if you want me to just continue, I will. Because I'm sure this is probably boring, staring at me, staring at the chat. So take your right hand and imagine an apple. Find the camera. There we go. Hello. Imagine an apple sitting right smack dab in your hand. Visualize it. Remember how juicy the last one was that you bit into, how it smelled, how round it was, the color. Imagine all of that. Imagine it sitting in your right hand. Get it really good and in your mind, right? It's like, I like Fuji apples. They're sweet, but there's a tang. I love those. And so they're that kind of pinkish rose skin with a little bit of the gold in there, striations and stuff. And that is just such a juicy. And the other one, what's the other one? Honey Crisp. Isn't that what it's called? Those are my two favorites. Honey Crisp just made my mouth water. But imagine that sitting in your right hand. Really build it, construct it, feel it in your right hand. And then put your hands out in front of you like that, right? Put your hands out and notice, obviously I've got to raise my hands up higher for the camera to catch it. But kind of, okay, Pink, kind of notice the difference. The right hand feels a little heavier, like something's really in it. Angela lost her connection. And of course, I can't type. There we go. All right. So you feel that? Can you feel that there's a weight in that right hand? And I'm going to ask, like everybody else, if you could please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. How are you doing, Purple? Next time we're going to play with our water bottles. Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to know. Oh, thank you, Purple. You're the only person. But can you feel like a difference between the two hands? Do you notice a difference? I know it's kind of like, okay, I want you to put your hands out in front of you and feel that, and then I'm expecting you to type. I should just get you guys all in the live stream and we could talk. It'd be easier, wouldn't it? Let me see. I gotta think how to do it now because I'm still learning. Oh, there it is. I found the in button. I copied it. And there we go. How's that? All right, I have headset on. I can hear. I hope everything's okay with Pink. Angela lost her internet and her battery's dying, so she's trying to get everything hooked back up. Now, how do I know when somebody is in it's like wish Pink was here. I don't want to leave the studio because I'm sure that's not a good thing. Are you coming in? I will? Okay. All right. Are you going to come in? And then we can just talk. I thought I changed you. Thank you. Okie dokie. I understand now. Since it's just you and me right now, Purple, after, when you can tell that there's a difference in the weight of the one apple. Oh, yeah, I like it. Yay, woot, 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 woot.
See? You see me at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, thank you so much for helping me with that.
And you just click me in.
Yep, I did it.
It's just that simple.
That is so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for helping me learn how to meditate. As you were going through the steps, um, I was going through the steps with you.
Good.
Like when you was telling us to like 1, 2, 3 on our thymus, I was doing the same thing. When you was telling us at the beginning to look up without tilting our heads, just take your eyeballs and roll them up as
Mm-hmm.
if you were looking at your hairline. I was doing that exercise as you know, you were instructing us to do it. And I can immediately, you know, feel myself relaxing. Now, the more we got into it, I can really see a difference. Like pink, um, my mind, my mind race all the time because I spend a lot of time by myself. So, you know, because my children are grown, and then you know, I'm home alone. I don't have any grandchildren. So I don't really have anything to take, you know, take my time, like take my attention. You know, I have to find things to do to keep me from worrying, from allowing, like you say, different energies to come in and consume me. And
Yeah.
we all know fear is a big thing. You know, it'll cause you to really, really stay inside. You know, it'll make you go into this shell. You
Yeah.
know, so I try to do different things for relaxation, and some things help, but not everything. And so I've tried different ways to meditate, but the things that I've tried, they ain't never help me. Uh, so Stitch, but what you showed me today, that really helped me with the hand and the rubbing of the palm of the hand and the energy. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was a kid, you know how like the static in your body,
Yeah.
you know how you rub against somebody and you could feel the electricity and it kind of pop you a little bit, you know,
Yes.
it kind of sting you a little bit.
Yeah. Bite you.
Yeah, yeah, like with the rubbing exercises, I can immediately, when I did the hand thing, like I could feel the energy. I could feel that energy, you know, coming, pulling, you know. So, you know, that really, like really calmed me down a
Good.
whole lot, you know. So I'm just excited about continuing these steps that you showed us on how to meditate and how to keep your mind from racing, because I think for me and Miss Pink, we suffer with the same thing. You know, we let any little thing causes us to worry, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's a battle to get that away from us. So because when I met Miss Pink, she talked about that, and I told her, yeah, I had to deal with that, and a lot of mine came from um um I buried my youngest brother, and then 3 years later I buried my oldest brother, and then 3 years later I buried my father, which I was a father's girl. You know, I was a daddy's girl. And although I had two other sisters, but I was a daddy's girl. And my sister still tease me about that right now today. But, and then after burying my father, 3 years later, I buried my husband of 28 years. Then I had my oldest son coming home from college. Didn't know how I was going to get my youngest son through college, but it's by the grace of God that, I was able to keep working for the school district, and I got him through college. They both are doing well. I can't complain, but going through all that trauma caused me to have anxiety at the roof. I
Mhm.
mean, it just caused me to be, I remember when I lost my husband, I was scared to go out. You know, I was scared to even be, alone, and like my children can, like my oldest son, who's now 32, he can literally see a change in his mother. Like my behavior really, really changed. Like I wasn't this person that was outgoing anymore. I didn't do a whole lot of things anymore. I was just in this shell. Like I just went into this shell. I cut myself off to the world, and it took me longer to get over my husband's death than anything. And me going through that, although, I think of it as strength, but I had to go through a lot to get to where I am today. And I still struggle. I still struggle, but not as bad as, as I did. So, and so listening to you and you teaching us how to breathe, how to do little simple things, is much easier than to do it than not to do it. You understand? Because for me, I already take a lot of medication. I don't want to take anything else. I wing myself off of anxiety medication. I did that, and I thank God for it. But still, I still have issues that, I still get a little anxiety, so, I'm there, but I'm not 100%,
Right.
because I still have stuff that will come in and kind of worry me, especially with my oldest son, because my oldest son, they just diagnosed him as well with lupus. So he's not only my son, but he's my lupus brother as well. So which I'm happy, because they don't have to play a guessing game with them, because he went into renal failure during the pandemic, and so he immediately went to peritoneal dialysis. And so looking at my oldest son and my daughter-in-law, this young couple, go through this, that anxiety come right back, and the
Mhm.
worry set in. And so I'm trying to figure out, how can I overcome this, because I don't want to worry, I don't want to be fearful, I don't want to go back to where I was. So I fight hard to keep my mind at peace. you know you do, because you don't want to be back there. You
No,
do.
I
You don't want to have the racing heartbeat. You don't want to have the panic attacks. You don't want that. And so when I got the news that my oldest son would be on dialysis, he's doing well. He's doing very good. I cannot complain. He's doing well. He's doing like the doctor tell him to do. He's paying attention to what they telling him to do. Not only that, my daughter-in-law will be finishing uh, uh, medical school this
oh
October.
cool.
She'll be uh, nurse practitioner.
Oh, how neat.
Yes. So in October, she'll be done. So I'm so excited for them because me and her were thinking, I had seen a big rash on my son's leg. And I said then that I think he has lupus. And she said, you know what? I'm thinking the same thing. So I said, because that doesn't look like psoriasis, that look like scardosis. And she said, yeah, I think that's the same thing. So I say, Brit, well, take him to the doctor and have him to do the test. So in the process of me and her getting together, um, he went into renal failure just that quickly. And they put him on peritoneal dialysis in March. And that's when he started dialysis. So I rushed down to their house and I had stayed down there for like 2 months. He was off from work. And as a mother, when you have a child, I had to pull myself together and I had to literally, talk myself through the fear and the worry that had came upon me hearing this news, and so I had to talk myself through everything and to be able to encourage these two young people to look at their life and say that this is not the end, that you guys gotta keep pushing, that you know that you're blessed anyhow. Don't look at the situation. So one day he and I were on our way to the store and I told him it's people losing their jobs. Y'all still have y'all job. Matter of fact, they both are essential workers. My daughter-in-law worked for Texas Children. So I told him, I said, y'all both are essential workers. Be thankful that y'all still have y'all job. I say, so don't look at this thing as the end of the world. Yeah, I know you don't want to go through it. Yeah, mama, no. I don't want to see you go through it. Do you know that hurt me as a mother, that I can't fix my son? That I can't remove that from you to make you feel better? But just look and be thankful that you still here and you still got a job to go to, and that you got a loving wife that's rocking with you. She ain't gave up on you. So I had to, I have to do things, but you teaching us how to meditate, how to think, how to get past anxiety when we feel fearless, when worry take seat in us, that we could just take some deep breaths, meditate, and feel better. That's amazing. I like to say amazing. I don't like to say amazing. I like to put an O in front of it. It's just amazing.
I like that. That's so cool. I want to share with you a really cool story. And maybe Teresa, and I think if Angela's back, because her phone went and so did her internet, I posted the StreamYard Addie to join us so that we could all have some fun and just talk instead of typing. But
yeah.
So, and Angela might know this story because I think I told it to her, and I've heard it in actually a couple different places. But anyway, so years ago, and it really wasn't all that long ago, like maybe the last 10, 12 years, there was this truck driver who had stopped for the night at some yard, waiting for them to come in the morning to unload the truck, or waiting for the trailer or whatever. But so he went and climbed into the back of the reefer, into the trailer, because of checking on something, and all of a sudden the door shut. Either somebody came by and shut the door and locked it because they thought, oh, nobody's here, and somebody left the door open or whatever, but the door got shut behind him and he couldn't get out. And this was, I don't remember what part of the country it was, but it was like, 70 degrees out. It wasn't scorching heat, and it wasn't freezing cold. And this man knew he was in a refrigerated truck. And his mind started to play with him because he started panicking. He started freaking out on the situation. And like I was showing you about thinking about the apple, did you feel that the right hand felt heavier than the left? Even if it was only a hair, it's like, okay, that shows you the power of the mind. You created an apple. So this man was writing in the dust and scribbling with whatever, but he was chronicling how he was starting to get cold because in his mind, the refrigerator was on. And so this refrigerator truck was getting colder on him, and he was panicking, and nobody was letting him out. He was stuck. Come morning, when I guess the yard opened up, they came by and somebody opened up the trailer door, and they found him dead inside the car, inside the trailer, the reefer, and they saw him scribbling, talking about it getting colder and colder, and that he was afraid he was going to freeze to death. And when they did the autopsy, for whatever reason, his body showed that. Aha, I love it when it gives you that little circle saying that your internet is having an issue. But anyway, so here this man literally thought himself to death. He panicked so badly, he created a scenario in his mind, and his mind could not tell the difference. And this is what the body does. If you start panicking that something's going on, the mind will create that thing. And then you panic more, and then it creates more. And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so here is why you can't let fear rule you. If a fearful thought comes up, think of something else. Think of a thing to be grateful for. It's like, I was telling Therese the other day, and Angela knows because we went and did it kind of sort of together. But over at Walmart, they had for 50 cents. Matter of fact, do I have one here? I think I do. Yes, I do. Composition books, 50 cents. It's 100 sheets, 50 cents. So I bought a bunch of them because I've got one that's my gratitude book. I've got another one that's my worrisome thought book. It's just to write down things that are popping up in my head. Like, if I'm worried about money, or if I'm worried about this, if it's a health issue, whatever, but I'm writing it down. And then what you do is you look back at it and it's like, well, that was stupid. Why was I thinking that? Let's scratch that out. It doesn't affect me. Or if you think there's an issue, it's like, okay, so am I a victim of this? Or am I in control because there's things I could do? And that right there, when you stop to think about it, gives you power, because it's like, wait a minute, there are things I can do. I am not a victim of this thought, my own mind creating this into life, like freezing to death. But having this little book that you can write these things down gives you a way of working through them. I would suggest, because the way to train the mind, it takes 21 days to create a habit. And if you're trying to break some of the issues like chatterbox mind going off because you're replaying, which means you're living in the past, but you're replaying everything of the day. And you're already planning all the things that you got to do based on the stuff that you did yesterday, because I got to pay the bill, I got to make the phone call, I got to do this, I got to do that. And your mind just is racing and going on and on. So you write it down and you make it as a list. These are all the things that are on my mind. And what you do is you take your book and you sit down, make it a specific time. So every night at 9 o'clock or whatever time you're comfortable to go to bed. Oh, Pink's in and I didn't even notice it. How do I didn't want to do that. How do I add? Oh, there it is. I figured it out. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
I was like,
Hey, Pink.
Hey, sweetie. It's so good to see you.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you took the time. I can't do it justice.
I was getting ready because I go on in 10 minutes.
Oh,
It,
okay. Well, you get ready, and we can at least this way you can talk and not have to type. Did you get to do
right.
the Apple thing?
No, I didn't make it to the Apple thing, but I did
Okay.
the first part. The Apple thing was the energizing thing, right?
Well, it was where you did your hands and you
Yeah.
imagined an apple. Everything it tasted like, smelled like, the weight
No,
of
no,
it in
no.
your hand.
I heard you saying it, but I wasn't able to do it because I was like up trying to get it together.
Okay, well, um, since we're here, and
Hmm.
hopefully Purple will join us tomorrow,
Hmm.
when we do the tea time, because that's going to be about the anxiety and the
Right.
depression and things that you could do, and we're effectively covering that now anyway. We
Right.
could bring up, maybe do a little, and I will write a script for it so it stays in 10 minutes. But, um, write a do a little 10-minute meditation with everybody, and then
Yes.
if I can, I was gonna try to figure out how to do screen share, not screen share. I guess it's screen share to show pictures of things, but maybe I'll just do it with words and leave
Well,
it at that.
figure out how to do that because I want to know how to do it as well. So if you do
Okay.
it, then you can teach us.
And what I learned too from this is that StreamYard does not have the ability to flip,
Oh, okay.
and I don't think YouTube does either. My um, Logitech does. My webcam has the
Hmm.
ability to flip it so that I can mirror it. So I'm
Okay.
seeing my right hand wave and it's on the left.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, uh, but yeah.
Yeah.
So um, maybe we can get together after sometime tomorrow because we got to get prepared for tomorrow night
Right.
anyway.
Hmm.
And we could figure out what would be a good day for me to do a meditation. What would fit in your schedule and Purple's schedule so that we could all make it a nice, let's sit down, let's meditate, and we can even mention that tomorrow night so that we can get this rhythm going. Because the more
Hmm.
often we do this, the more secure we are as a group. And here's something that's really interesting that we can get in later on down the line. They call it the Maharishi effect or
Hmm.
effect. And what they discovered back in the 80s, uh, I forgot, I don't remember if it was Maharishi, can't remember how to pronounce his name, Yogi Danda, whatever. But anyway, he had people go to certain cities
Hmm.
and they meditated. And they would meditate for an hour on the peace and everything else in this specific city, like Chicago or New
Hmm.
York or whatever. And what they found was that the crime rates decreased for that period of time that they were meditating, that they were all focusing on peace and stuff. And it wasn't, projecting, oh, we want to see peace everywhere, else.
Right.
It was just they were meditating and thinking about peace and the energy and projecting it out, that the crime rates, all of the violence and everything decreased for that period of time, and it even lasted for days or weeks afterwards.
That's awesome.
So that's even something that we could set up maybe once a month during these meditations, once everybody is comfortable with the meditating, and we have it so that you've got the idea that, oh, I just need to do these little tricks and I can, there we are. I'm calmed down and not racing. And
Right.
we could do a focus meditation on calming everything down around us.
That would be awesome. Yes, I
Well,
would
I
love
would
that.
just like to say whatever time is good for you guys, because I'm retired.
Hmm.
It's whatever
Okay.
time, whatever time you guys set, then I just follow you guys. It's fine with
Awesome.
me.
All right,
Okay.
sounds
Awesome.
cool.
I'm retired too.
I'm retired 3.
So you know what I want to ask is, did y'all see that movie? Uh, uh, of course I'm gonna get it right. It's something like Eat, Love, and something.
Yeah, eat, love, pray.
Is I want that. Is that this all kind of connects together?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, I love that. Okay.
I'm going to tell you a quick story about that because I know you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I have always wanted to go to India. I've always wanted to go to
Mm-hmm.
Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw that this movie was coming out and they showed the video, right, the trailer of it and all the stuff that I was like, that's me. That's what I
Yes.
want to do. That
Yes.
I want to do that too. Everything that they did is what I want to do. I still, because working at the Ren fairs, I go to the elephants and I always stand near the elephants and then I just go into my space. And I've had elephants that will all of a sudden make eye contact with me and will pay attention to me when they're not supposed to because the guy's telling them, let's go.
Yeah.
I even had one guy look at me like, you're doing something to the elephant. And it was kind of, I just was meditating basically and just feeling love with that,
Yeah.
with the elephant.
Yeah, I like that
Awesome.
movie too, Pink. I watched that movie twice down at
Oh, I
my son's
love
house.
that. That's what I want in my life. I
Okay.
want that.
Hmm.
Well, then we will
I
work
like
on
that
that.
movie too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we might need
Maybe.
to suggest that they look at that movie as well. We might need to suggest that so that they can see the space that we're trying to create.
Okay. Maybe what I'll do is I'll create a little thumbnail,
Mm-hmm.
and call it "Eat, Love, Pray."
Yeah.
Um, you know, and I'll find the right catchwords to go in that, and
Right.
then we can set that up as being our meditation night, as a
Yeah.
regular thing, and we'll just keep it up and build up the energy, and we'll find that space, and and we will connect.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I
I
was so
love it.
excited when you text me and you said you were live, and I was like, "Oh my God, I need to find her!" And I just came right in. I was like, I
I
didn't remember if I had your bell on or not. No, I was like, "Oh my God!" And I was doing like a whole lot of things at one time, and I just stopped. I had to stop everything so I can get over here. I had to make sure I was here for this.
Well, I'm so glad I was happy, me and Purple when we were laughing and I had to ask her, was it Purple or Paisley? Because I like both. And
My
so,
my name is actually Rochelle. It's
Okay.
Rochelle. It's Rochelle.
oh, I
But
like
Okay.
Rochelle.
I try to bring awareness about the disease lupus because
Mm-hmm.
people don't know, you
Right.
know, that this disease and how it affects, you know, um, the black community and the Hispanic community,
Oh yeah.
Right.
and how hard it hit us, as a community. But yeah, I try to do that. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do a panel, but I will post it on my community wall with people that I met on YouTube with um, me speaking about lupus. They ran across my channel and I was able to meet with them, and they came
Mm-hmm.
over and we met each other. And it's just
Wow.
been awesome for me. So I really can't complain. Now, I done had some bad folks come across my channel,
Of course.
but so far so good. I really can't complain. You take the good with the bad with anything, when you're dealing with social media.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
it's what it is. But thank you, Soul Stitch, for having me. Thank you for helping me.
Soul
My
is
pleasure.
amazing. I got to go, guys.
All right. I'll
I
see you
love
over there.
you. All right. Love you. Sorry, I got to go. Okay.
That's all right. Love you,
Yeah, we
baby.
see you over there, Pete.
All right. All right. Love you. Bye bye.
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 Well, Rochelle, thank you so much for this.
You
You've
are
been
so welcome.
inspiring. I
You are so
appreciate it.
welcome. I got my bell on.
Oh, cool. Well, as soon as I am working on a bunch of background stuff. I'm writing a couple PDFs. I discovered uh, Buy Me a Coffee, and it's like you know I can I can do everything that YouTube does without having to have 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers. So I could go ahead and make it so that if anybody donated $1, they could buy certain scripts or just give them for free and, set it up that way. They just click on the link, go there, and then pick whatever. So I'm working on a few things. I'm working on a book to put up there, which is another reason why I wanted to.
That's wonderful. Because do you know how many, girl, I'm so sick of silent streaming that it's ridiculous. Trying to get them 4,000 watch hours is not easy. People think that that's an easy task.
Oh no,
that's not an easy task to do. When you don't know, how to flow through YouTube. Like you do is what I'm saying. People think that's easy. Like a person like me that don't know that. Child, that 4,000 watch hours is a killer. I've had people that subscribe to me that started out with me has quit. Just said, no, I can't do it.
Well, I get it.
4,000 watch hours.
Right. And it is kind of tough, but I'm just not looking. I'm not looking at that. I've seen that there are people who have 0 subscribers who are making bank because they're either doing, that t-shirt thing or a merchandise thing without it being YouTube's merchandise. They just put it down in the description, and it's like, if you want to go click on it, go over there and check out my site, or go check out my dashboard over at Buy Me a Coffee. And if you like any of the things I've put there, some things are for free, some things cost $1, might cost $3, whatever. But it's like that, and it's less headache, and so I can work on that quietly and not worry about it. Just work on it, not try to. Oh, I've got to promote myself, and and that's good, maddening.
Right. That's a headache. Yeah, I understand. Because YouTube changed. Every other month they're changing the rules. And a lot of times people come to me and ask me, did you get this email? Did you hear that? They're changing the rules. I'm just getting fed up. And I try to encourage them. I'm like, y'all, I've been on here 3 years. I ain't got my 4,000 watch hours. I'm not monetized. I said, but I haven't given up. And so they were like, you been on YouTube that long? I said, yeah. I got over 200 some videos on my channel. I said, yeah, I've been on here that long. I say, but I ain't gave up yet, but I can't, that watch time and going live, a lot of people don't like to go live because, they hear the bad stuff about them doxing, people are so vain. That's why a lot of people don't show their face. Me, no, I don't have that problem. That's strange to me because I don't let people get to me. Like I don't let you can't call me ugly and think that's gonna bother me. It's just little bitty things like stuff that I cannot control. That's what bothers me. Anything that I can control, that don't bother me. It's the stuff that I can't control.
But that's what?
That's what worries me.
Okay, but you know what?
Ain't that crazy?
No, it's not crazy at all. But check this out. Okay, so it's your perception that you don't have control. The one thing that you have absolute control over is how you feel about things. So you can decide, you know what? I'm not letting that get to me. It's all in your power. You can take it at any moment and go, you know what? Why am I getting upset over this?
Right.
And laugh at yourself about it. But you are never out of control. There is nothing that you do not have control over. The same thing goes, with your son having the lupus. don't feel that you're out of control, because you have control over how you feel. You have control over what actions you take. You have
Right.
control over what knowledge you get to share,
Mm-hmm.
what support you give.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when I was talking earlier and I was explaining about, the little notebook and setting up a specific time to sit down, whatever time, 10 minutes before going to bed, because you only want to give yourself 10 minutes to write. You don't want to write 5 hours worth of stuff. And you
Right.
just, all the things that are on your mind, do it like a bullet list, paying the bills. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that, da, 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 da. And then you close it and say, okay, everything's here. It's safe. I will get back to it tomorrow. And you keep telling your mind that. And, it takes 3-4 weeks, but sometimes it doesn't even take that long. Everybody's different. But by doing that, you are conditioning your mind to, okay, I'm going to bed now. So everything's right here. It's in a safe space. I will get to it in the morning when I get up after I've done my business. And then you open it up, but it doesn't mean that you have to devote time to it. Just skim over it. Okay, everything's still here. If you want, it's like, how do I feel about that? No big deal. Cross it off. Close the book. But this gives you control over your racing mind when you're trying to sleep. The eyeballs in bed, eyeballs in bed, that was good. Lifting the eyes, when you're laying in bed and
Mm-hmm.
doing the tapping,
Mm-hmm.
but you want to do it slower, kind of like a heartbeat.
Okay.
And the slower you do it, the
Mm-hmm.
slower you start to feel your energy go, I'm calmer now.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually get, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm sharing this with you and I'm doing this, I'm kind of energizing myself and going,
Mm-hmm.
I need to slow down. There we go. But the
Yeah.
eyes definitely helps, and the breathing, taking deep
Okay.
breaths in through the
Uh-huh.
nose, hold it for,
And out through
count of
the
2,
mouth.
3, 4, and out the
Mm-hmm.
mouth, and just, and you can
Okay.
make sounds. We don't have to worry
Okay.
about waking anybody, dogs excluded. But you just, and then give it a, hold, and then exhale, and you can go, ah. That's a
Okay.
good one. When you
Yeah.
exhale, and let it all go. And then don't be so quick to pull the air back up. Let it sit empty for a second. Just sit. Sit in that space, because all of a sudden you'll feel, I don't have an urge to breathe all of a sudden. I feel
Mm-hmm.
this kind of bubble stillness cocoon like thing. And then breathe in. And then just hold it, for us 2, 3, 4, and then
Right.
And I find I always trip on it, mental tripness, that I will 5, 10, 15 seconds before I take an inhale. I have gotten to where it's no, oh, I can't breathe, and you inhale, and I feel safe in that no breath exhale space, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but I'm just
Mm-hmm.
fine. And it's an interesting thing. There's a bathtub trick. Do you have a bathtub?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what you want to do is make your tub nice and toasty, warm, hot, but not lobster hot. We're not cooking. And, you can put any fragrance into the tub that you like if you want. Light some candles, set the ambiance. Know that this is your way of honoring you, honoring your soul, your light, your life, your person, right? You are doing this for you. I taught years ago, 20 years ago, a class called The Art of Ritual. And it was mostly for women, but anybody that needed to reclaim themselves, to honor themselves, and then learning about honoring their family and making ritual out of everything makes everything so much more special. So when you're making the bathtub, you go through this orchestration, lighting the candles, and I'm going to light from left to right or from right to left. And I've got a pink one and a blue one and a white one. And, and so these are the orders and you do everything with purpose. And, the fragrance in the water, sprinkle some essential oil into it, and then, shake the water up really good so that it disperses. And then, your towels, lay them where you want to. Get a cup of tea, put that where you want to, but do everything with purpose, knowing that this is to honor me. This is to heal me. This is to bring me peace. And each thing, you give it meaning, you give it that honorarium kind of, honor for yourself. And then you get into the water and you want to get down comfortable and just sit for a few minutes and do your breathing. And then here's the fun part. You're going to sink down in the tub so that the water is here above your ears, not above the eyes, not above the mouth. We're not going to drown, but above your ears, right? Need the ears completely submersed. Excuse me. And then you're going to tone. Doesn't matter what tone. You don't need a tuning fork. You don't need to be in key or out of key. You just tone whatever moves you. And so you take a nice breath in and you just, and you hold it as long as you can. No pressure, no nothing. While you are underwater, here is the science. Your lungs and your vocal cords are vibrating. They're taking that note, that frequency, and they are literally making waves through the water. Like, think of dolphins and their shock waves, right? The sounds. And then it hits the side of the tub, and those waves then return. And so they literally start to, because you are 70% plus water. You should be closer to 80, but not many of us are good about drinking our water. But so all the cells in your body are water, right? And then you have all this water surrounding tissues and blah, blah, blah. And so that vibration comes in and it goes through your body and it vibrates all of the cells in your body. And you will feel it throughout your body. And you just keep repeating it. And maybe after so many times, all of a sudden you feel like, oh, and then the next time it's, whatever. You just go with what makes you feel, right? Here is more science to it. So sound, light, they're all frequency. Pink is a frequency color. The color of pink resonates with a specific frequency. We know the notes on a piano, guitar, etc. They're a frequency. We can look at the sine waves and see those, running up and down.
Right.
And so every organ in the body has a specific note it resonates with.
Oh, okay.
Same with if you get into the chakras, which is another, mindset energy system, but the chakras are there. I can vouch for it. I see them. So each chakra also vibrates to a specific note. And so what you're doing is you are literally scrubbing your body with these frequencies. And by the time you're done, and it may take you 10 minutes, it may take you 20 minutes, you just do it till you feel like, I'm good. And when you get out of that tub, you are going to feel just utterly bliss. It's the closest thing to like doing a sensory deprivation tank. I don't know if you've ever gotten to try one of those. I've used them a couple times and they never really did anything, but what it's supposed to do is put you in salty, warm water so that you really feel like you're floating in space.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's completely dark, and Some places will pipe in some music, others it'll just be quiet. All you can hear is your own breathing or your heart beating, which for some people they can't do that. But this is so different because it literally has touched every cell of your body. And you've got some, I think it's 40 trillion cells or 60 trillion cells. You've got a lot of cells. And so all of these cells are being scrubbed, they're being vibrated. And whichever organs need attention, whichever parts of the body need attention, need healing, you're just going to automatically produce that sound. You're just compelled to, I feel like doing that. I'm kidding, but so your body knows. It's like when you crave certain foods, even foods that are bad for you, you're craving it because there's an element in it that you need. Maybe you're needing, B vitamins. So you're craving chocolate because there's certain things in there. Magnesium. You need magnesium to calm down. You need magnesium for sleep. You need magnesium to help the body with the potassium and the salt balance. People who are on low salt diets because they think, otherwise my potassium gets messed up. That's wrong, because salt and potassium work hand in hand. The potassium is meant to keep the salt levels in check. That's why they call it the potassium sodium pump.
Right.
Thing is you need magnesium for any of that to work properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I've been walking this path for 57 years, something like that. But I've been studying holistic health for over 30 years. And I am a trained herbalist and aromatherapist. Also, I do energy healing and stuff. But I've spent my entire life studying this, and it's like there's just so much. And people who allow fear to overtake them, it's like being afraid of medicine or being afraid of natural stuff that was here way long before medicine ever showed up. There's so many avenues and so many opportunities for somebody to heal. They just got to find the one that's in frequency with them, or in harmony is the better way to put it. But you find what works for you. It's interesting. The human body and the mind can think itself sick. So why can't it think itself well?
Right.
And there's two people I would recommend you go checking out. One is Dr. Joe Dispenza.
What's the name again?
Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dispenza, or as I tell Angela, dispenser. It was the easy way I could get her to remember it.
Okay, I got it.
She will beat me later. Another person to go look at is Dr. Bruce Lipton, like Lipton iced tea.
Dr.
Bruce Lipton. Think of Lipton iced tea.
Oh, okay.
And then there was one other. What was it? Oh, let me find you his name. It's Morris something. He was called the Miracle Man.
Oh, okay.
Morris Goodman is his name. So if you look up Morris Goodman, Miracle Man story, he crashed his airplane in, I think it was 1984. He had, a little biplane or whatever, personal plane, and he crashed it around Austin.
Oh, okay. Austin, Texas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so, long story short, he had crushed his pelvis, crushed his larynx, crushed his diaphragm, his spine, spinal cord, everything. So he was paralyzed from the neck down. Only thing he could do was blink his eyes. And the doctors were writing him off as he was just going to be a vegetable. But a nurse that happened to be new on the floor, just out of training, saw him and was there, and she kept looking over, and she noticed that he was like blinking his eyes, but there was a pattern, like, he was really trying to get them to notice him, that, hey, I'm in here. And so through her action, the doctor was like, oh no, he's just a vegetable. That's just a nervous reaction, body's reaction kind of thing. She got him to communicate, writing letters on a pad, and then she'd point to the letter and he'd blink when she got on the right letter. And he spelled out that, one, of course, was that he was very much there. But he also, long story through, he communicated that he would walk out of the hospital by Christmas. And this was like March of that year. So as he tells, the story incomplete, but basically he says, the only thing he had was his mind. And so he kept visualizing. Remember the apple? You could feel it. He kept visualizing walking out of that hospital. It meant that he had tubes in him to eat for him. He had things breathing for him and things eliminating for him, and, and all this other stuff. And over the course of those months, he got to where they took him off the ventilator and he took his first breath. And then, because the larynx was crushed, he couldn't swallow. But through all of this, he started to be able to swallow again. And so, now the man walks, talks, and speaks in front of, hundreds of people, telling his story as a motivation, that you have more power than you think. And you can ascribe
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes. But see, here's, my husband and I have a very wonderful 30 plus year relationship, and he's a biblical scholar. I always say he did his time in seminary. And when he got ready, they had his pastorship set up, everything was there, and he was meeting with all of the elders and stuff. And he listened to everything that they were saying. And he decided, this isn't for me. I'm not going to preach somebody else's party line for money, because that's all they talked about was money. Yeah. Not about, healing people or helping people or being there or being, community for God. It was just so. And then here I come along, and I'm an earth child. I'm Native American, so I follow many traditions. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I had a lot of unique things happen to me my entire life. And the true meaning of paranormal means, other than normal. Doesn't mean that it's, it's not the norm. So my life was paranormal. And I just had weird things, some things that were wooey, like being picked up, and nothing was there picking me up off the floor. But I knew that Archangel Michael, was always in my bedroom. He sat there with me, and he kept me safe in a situation that was not very safe for me. Definitely kept me from losing my mind. Or maybe I have. Anyway, I'm just joking there, but so we all have, what I've learned in life is that we're all going to the same energy. We just all call it something different.
Right.
Native American, it's the Father, Mother, Creator, Great Creator. Some of the other religions, Catholic, and they call it the Creator. They call it God. Some people it's Father, Mother, God. The universe, source energy.
That supernatural being. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all the same.
Yeah. All the same. Sure is. Sure
And
is.
it's just,
How you put it.
it's just,
Talk about it. It's all the same. That's
it
right.
is. So I have a book. You're gonna laugh. I haven't. I only have the title and the rough out on it. But I have a book that I want to write that is called God's Name is Bob,
Mm-hmm.
because I could decide that today I'm calling God Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow I may call him Joe.
That's right.
N- Next week I may call God Priscilla.
Yeah. Of course. You know.
So
You know. However you feel comfortable in recognizing him as. You know. I tell people that I'm more spiritual than
yep.
I am religious.
And I
I'm
just
a,
flat
I'm
out
a
say I am not
spirit.
religious.
Exactly. You know, I don't get wrapped up into religion because if you get wrapped up in it, you're gonna lose yourself. It's gonna drive you crazy
Right.
because
And
no one knows the true story. But
exactly. And
we know that some of the books are not all in the Bible.
no, they're not. And
Some
also
of them are
too,
there.
think about this. Those that book originally was written for a group of people whose mindset no longer exists.
Sure, you are so correct. And that book was King James was written by a man. You I mean, now do I believe the word? I believe certain parts of the word,
Yes.
but I know God for myself
Well,
because
see, and that's all you
I
need to
have
know.
experienced him in my life. That energy that you talk about, that paranormal energy you talk about, that type of stuff. That's what I experience. That's why I could tell you that I'm spiritual.
Right.
I can't tell you that I'm wrapped around religion because I'm not. I'm not. You know,
Well, see,
I
for
say that I'm
me,
spiritual. I'm a spiritual being.
yes.
You know, and I always tell people when I'm on my channel and I'm referencing to God, to that supernatural, I always say that supernatural being, God, Yahweh, however you identify him as, it all means the same.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I tell them because I don't want you to get wrapped up into this. Yeah, he's God. Yeah, yeah. We all know that. However you want to serve him, however you want to go to him, that's between you and him. I can't tell
Yes.
you that. I
That's
can't
why.
tell you about your walk. I can't. You know, and too many Christians love to point the finger. And I don't like that. Too many Christians are so judgmental. You know,
Right.
I
And
don't like that. I ain't that one. I'm different. I tell people that I ain't the normal Christian that y'all used to see. God ain't through with me yet. Be patient with me. I might slip up. I'm gonna make some mistakes. Be patient with me now. I ain't perfect. Y'all still see I'm human now. I'm still in this flesh.
you're
But
beautiful.
so sis, it was so nice talking to you. You have helped me so much. You just don't know how much you have helped. And I can't wait for our next meeting. I can't
Well,
wait for you and Pink to get together and get the time schedule. And I'm just following y'all. Whatever time y'all say we're gonna do it, that's fine with me. Maybe Pink can post it on her community wall, or if y'all tell me, I'll post it on my community wall.
okay,
Or
I
if
will
I see
gladly
her
do that.
community wall, I repost post it on my community wall. That way we can have more people come over to, or I share y'all. I ain't think to share y'all. I was so into meditating time, I forgot to share y'all.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
next time, you know, you go live, we do this thing again. I'm gonna make sure I share y'all, or you remind me. Purple
Okay.
share me out, because I know you'll forget. Because I get into what's going on to the content creator child. My mind be on what you talking about. I don't be paying attention to nothing else but what you talking about. That's what I
Well,
be paying attention to. But thank you for having me
my
as a guest
pleasure.
on your channel, and thank you for helping me, because I'm gonna use those strategies that you gave me to help me meditate
Oh,
and to
I
keep my mind from racing at night. Cause mine race at night, right when I get ready to go to sleep. That's when my mind gets to
yes.
turning. And I can't go to sleep. So you know what? I got some of them composition books around here from now that's a shame, from when um where I guess they from when my nephew, when he was with me. He was he ain't nothing but he finna have a birthday. He finna be 19. So they still good. I just gotta find them. But I'm gonna do just like you said. I'm gonna sit and do my little journaling. You know, do my little journaling. Pink just went live, so I'm gonna go over there, hang
Yeah,
out with her for a little while.
I'm
And
gonna go there
but I
too.
thank you for having me. And when y'all get the time together for the next meeting, I'm gonna be back over there. So I'm gonna be back over here, Soul Stitch.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds great.
yeah. And thank you for having me, baby.
Thank
I
you, sweetheart.
appreciate you.
Bless
You
you.
really helped me.
I'm
You helped
glad.
me, and I'm gonna hang out with you. And hopefully,
Okay.
I can bring some of my friends,
Oh, that
some of
would be
my
lovely.
audience over to you, so they can hear you, so they can
Okay.
get a part of this goodness, how to meditate, how to breathe, how to keep their mind from racing. You
You
know,
got it.
that's how we gonna do this thing. Cause see, that's what I do. I'm not selfish. See, if I go live, I'm gonna talk about you. You ain't got to come to my stream for me to talk about you. I'm gonna talk about you. Period. If your channel
I
good,
met this
I,
crazy lady.
yeah, I'm gonna talk about you, baby. That's just me. But
Okay.
so thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having me, sweetheart. I'm gonna get out from here because I
All
wanna
right.
go over there to Pink, and then I gotta put my dinner up and
Okay.
give me something to eat because I hadn't had anything to eat. So, but thank you again, sweetheart. I enjoyed you, and thank you so much. I can't thank you enough because
Well,
that
thank
really
you, baby.
helped me. That really helped me.
I'm glad. We'll
Yeah,
set it
I
up
can't
for.
wait for the next meeting.
Sounds good. I'll see you over at Pink's.
Okay, baby. Love
All right.
you.
Love
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye. Oh, that was fun. And on that note, I bid everybody a good night. Walk in a beauty way. Mitakawa Washin. Night.